Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Prison Time with Graveris. So, dude, the prison dude has just left. Bevik has just walked around the corner. You hear the door click shut, and you're already like thieves' picks out.
I'm walking towards the door with my tools out. I mean, if someone else has an idea.
Graveris, now that we're alone, that's fine. I could just talk to her through the door, you know. Might be easier. Don't want to start the whole, breaking people out thing when, what's his face? Bevik is going to be back here.
I mean, break her out or pay for her. Either way, we have her.
Or talk to her here for free, and then have a sudden change of heart about whether we want to buy her or not.
Well, get on with it.
Fine!
And I go and watch the door.
So I take the stepping stool that Bevik has been using, push it into place, and climb up on it, stick my snout through this slot.
Okay. Yeah, you see the prisoner look up at you, like kind of squint.
Hello?
You're no jailer.
No, Bevik isn't here.
What are you doing here?
Well, actually, that's an interesting question. Now.
And at this point, is she within 10 feet of me?
Yeah, the cells are only like 10 feet deep.
She needs to make a wisdom save or be charmed.
Okay, what spell are you casting?
I'm not casting a spell. I am using Fey Presence, which is a 10-foot square around myself. I can either charm or frighten everything in it. DC.
Wait, everything?
Yes.
All right, everybody.
Did you tell us to back off?
Too late. Make saving throws.
Wisdom?
Well,
Too late. You gotta roll.
It's a 10-foot square that is adjacent to the square she's in. So
Is
she can
that like
project
all
it
around
into
her?
the room.
10 feet? Like, we're all within 10 feet of
It's
her.
not, I mean, it's not gonna make that much of a difference. But yeah, can you read the description?
I will. I'm just pulling it up right now.
Thanks.
Starting at first level, your patron bestows upon you the ability to project the beguiling and fearsome presence of the Fae. As an action, you can cause each creature in a 10-foot cube originating from you to make a wisdom saving throw against your warlock spells save DC, which is 13, by the way.
So it's a cube that comes off of you.
The creatures that fail their saving throw are all charmed or frightened until the end of your next turn.
Oh, I can't be charmed because I'm elf.
You're an elf. Yeah.
Cool. Never mind.
So
I can't be charmed
it's a cube spell, not an aura spell. So you can put the cube in front of you, and you're the originating point of the 10 feet. So you don't have to. You don't
so
have to
it's
charm.
just the
you
cell.
charm everyone in the cell. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That would have been cool. Damn.
It's a very short charm. Actually, I didn't even consider that. I could just cast charm. Probably easier. But
Let me see. Well, you don't have that much time before he comes back anyway. Okay. What is her name?
Oh, I never picked a second language, and since the group doesn't have Orcish, I know Orcish, and I've always known Orcish.
Yeah, I remember from when you learned Orcish before.
Yep.
It's always been that way.
All right. Okay, she doesn't have a stat block in this adventure, so I'm just going to use Bandit for her. What's the DC?
13.
And it's a wisdom save?
Yes.
Okay. All right, she fails. So
she is charmed.
Okay. The charmed condition. All right, you have advantage in any ability check to interact socially with the creature.
Cool.
She also can't attack you or target you with harmful magic. Which,
Harmful magic.
Harmful magic.
Tell us about your former employers.
She blinks hard a couple of times, like shakes her head as if kind of waking from a dream.
It's all right. You can trust me.
And she snarls. You can see her tusks. And she says, "It's like what did you say? Tell us
about your former employers."
Right. She says the Gray Patriots. I have no loyalty to them. Nor that bastard Krulik. And she spits on the floor. I can tell you where he is right now.
Please do.
I can tell you about that Dragonborn he's at war with, too.
Also that. All very useful.
But first you gotta earn it. And she looks around at the cell and she's like, get me out of here.
And how, get you out of here.
Or at least get me a better cell.
I'll tell you what. I am a very generous person, and of course I'll help you. But it's always nice to have a little bit of incentive, you know? Trust me, I have to trust you. Not really the best deal. So you tell me something useful, and I will let you out so you can tell us the rest of the useful things.
She grins and nods, and she says, "You're smart for a kobold."
Yes, I get that a lot.
Well, I can tell you this. Flan thinks they have one problem on the Iron Route. Or they think they have two problems on the Iron Route, but they're about to have one. The gangs are going to meet in Kingspire. There's talk of a truce, an allegiance between them.
Any of you getting all this?
Yeah, you can make anybody can make a history check when they hear Kingspire.
I'm not great with history.
Yep. Okay.
I think
that's
yeah, Kings. That's totally within my purview. King something.
King
I'm about that.
Kingspire, that's his name. So Kingspire is an ancient ruin. It's not a village or a town or anything. It's a statue, an ancient statue of like an effigy of an ancient king of the north, and it's built into the cliff face next to the river, and it's supposedly like the seat of an ancient dungeon, but has been like long since looted by folk like yourselves.
Cool.
People don't really go there because it's supposed to be haunted, but it would be a good place for a meeting. Everybody knows where it's at, and people wouldn't interrupt you necessarily.
Yep. So I squirreled that away. So tell everybody later.
So the two gangs are going to be meeting at Kingspire.
She nods, and if this truce goes through, that sorceress and Krulik, Flan's in trouble. They think they've got it bad now.
Very well, you've been very useful. It's
And I imagine the charm is sort of wearing off almost right about now. It's only like 12 seconds, basically.
Okay.
You know, because it would be a whole round,
Right.
like back around to the end of my turn.
Okay.
So I say,
I'll get you out of here, assuming I can afford it.
She grins and she says, "See that you do. And if I get out of here with my life, I'll tell you everything else I know."
Yes, I'm looking forward to having further conversation.
Okay. So you step down from the ladder.
yeah,
Are you gonna
I hop down off the stool.
Are you gonna wait for this guy to come back? Yeah.
I mean, I turn to the group and I say,
Yeah,
So, we wait, we buy the contract, we learn more.
yes, let's hear their counter offer.
Okay. Yeah. So I think as you're saying that, you can hear the door creak open, and you hear he stops around the corner because one of the prisoners has come up to the door and is like, "Master Bevik, please, some water." And Bevik's like, "Shut up, you!" and like hits the door with his truncheon. And the guy falls back and comes around the corner, and he's just like swinging the truncheon happily and whistling to himself. And he comes around the corner and he says, "Good, you're still here. I wouldn't want you to have wandered off. The floors in this place, dangerously unstable. Step in the wrong place, down 3 floors you go. And I don't need another body on my head."
My kind are well suited to rubble and ruin.
He nods and he says, "Well, don't get too comfortable here. You want to stay, it's either as a guard or in a cell. Now let's talk business." And he comes up rubbing his hands together. He says, "I spoke with my brother. This one, we think 700 pieces of gold. Strong, spirited. We could get at least that much. This is a deal. I should be charging you 1,000.
You really think that a drow and some very other erudite people don't know the worth of a life, of a single life? 700 gold is far too much.
He laughs.
Look.
I tell you what, I think I have some skills that could be very valuable to you in the future. We make a deal here, We can make a deal later.
He dramatically misinterprets what you say.
That's fine.
And he looks at you, kind of looks you up and down, and he's like, I mean, no offense, Dark Lady, but you're not my type.
It's not what I meant.
And when he says that, he's like, you're not my type. He's looking very pointedly at Graveris.
That's fun. Anyway,
That's fun.
I meant the tools on the wall that you suggested I might have a fondness for. Drow have some very interesting techniques for prisoners.
He says, yes, prisoners, not slaves. There are limits to what we can do to these people. We only want them to behave, not to be broken.
It's my skills. I don't have anything else to
Yeah,
offer.
he's like, no offense, Dark Lady, but you understand. If you want this woman, 700 pieces of gold.
All right, listen. There's a bounty of 500 on her superiors. Why would I pay 700 for some lieutenant who is slow enough to get caught? What skills does she have to offer? No. Look. 200. I'm being very generous. Anything more than that, and you are insulting me and my friends.
And he looks at you, he's like, 200? Brando Barris's eyes, you're trying to rob me.
If I were trying to rob you, you would know.
Or you wouldn't.
Don't come into my house and threaten me, big man.
I am not threatening.
Puts his hand on his knife kind of to prove the point of like, I'm not scared of you. And he says, 700 is a fair price. 200 is cruel, but make a persuade check.
But make a persuade.
Try to persuade me with your skills.
Here's the thing: is that before he came in the room, I cast guidance on myself.
I think this is one of those cases where the guidance you have to cast it right before you make the roll, so he would notice you. Cast
Okay, whatever. Yeah, and then I got 12. That's fine. Is 12 enough?
He's like, 200 is cruel. I have to make a living. My brother and I were businessmen, but I could go as low as 500. And this is only because I like you and your friends. I can tell. You're good people. And he like looks at Lane.
Yeah, and I look over my shoulder at Lane, and this is very much the like murder time look.
You know, I'm going to start doing that in real life. I'm going to just ask people to make persuade checks when they want me to do stuff. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this. Can you, if you can get a DC 13 persuade check, I will totally go for lunch with you.
If not, 500 gold.
Yeah, if not, 500 gold.
Can like if
By the way,
Lars is giving the look of like, should we murder? Like, I want to be like discreetly like trying to cut off like the way back, like just like, oh, I'm gonna go over here and look at these tools of torture that are.
However, while you're all setting up to murder, I'm like, I've got my little pouch of gold, and I'm like counting out like coins at this
Let me
point.
bring you to the prison. So this is the map. Y'all can see it now. We've been looking at it for a while, but this is the map of the prison. And y'all are here where it says P up there.
Okay.
Yep. And the captain is on the floor below you. He's actually on the third floor, not the second. So he's down there. The ones with X's are cells with prisoners. The lined over things, those are like actual legit holes in the floor. The circles are rubble. This place is kind of a ruin. So yeah, so there's a moment where he gives you the offer. He's like 500 gold. Yeah, what do you think?
Through incredibly gritted teeth, Elaine just says, we should probably leave quickly.
Yeah, and Reverse just turns to this guy, and I'm like, how would I say this? you know, the community I represent doesn't exactly prove how you came into this place.
All right, he
We
starts to
have
get
a long memory.
a little suspicious.
Yeah.
He takes a step back. Now, are you trying to cut off the way past around the circle, Oleander, or did you want to get behind him somehow?
I was wanting to get behind him, be like,
Between
yeah,
him and the guards, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be real tricky. But if
I'm
you can,
assuming he's looking out. Yeah.
yeah. But I'll allow you to make it like a stealth check to have done that. And I'll roll to oppose. I say roll it with disadvantage.
Well, then I'm gonna use my inspiration and roll it regular.
Sure.
Oh, fuck me, man.
Okay, so yeah, no, you didn't find an opening, so he's got his back to the guard's room. Technically, he's got his front to the guard's room too, because it goes all the way around.
Yeah,
Because the guards are here.
I'll tell you what, friend. I'll make the offer again. 200 gold. It's very, very reasonable.
And he scowls and he's like, no, I said no to 200 gold to him. I say no to 200 gold to you, lizard. You're not taking this seriously. It's time to go. And he turns around. He turns his back to you, Graveris. But
He does.
Before you get a chance to act, there's a loud sound from below you somewhere. You hear a crash on the floor below. And he turns and looks accusingly at you, and then you hear shouting from the guard's room. And there's a moment of like hesitation where he's like, "Oh, something's going on. I better go check it out, but I don't want to leave you alone up here." And,
I
like,
Eldritch Blast him.
Yeah, I think we all attack him at the same
Yeah,
time.
my sword is already in him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're just like, Gah.
okay, all right, Graveris.
You don't spit lizard at me.
He turns back to look accusingly at me, and I'm sliding my sword into his gut.
Okay, all right,
It's
all
one
right.
of those.
You don't have to roll to attack him. I think you stab him with your sword. And he like grabs it and like cuts his hand, but he looks at you like, what's happening? Wait, why is there a sword in me? And he looks up and he's like, what?
Perhaps you should have taken our generous offer.
As
He dies.
Yeah, he's just like, and like coughs a bunch of blood on the front of his shirt. Did you say anything before he dies, Graveris?
This trick stopped being funny, Bevik. And Mask has come to collect. I like kick him off my sword.
Okay, yeah,
I take his keys over to the door.
he falls to the floor like a cloth bag full of lard. And yeah, there's shouting downstairs. You can hear a low roaring noise occasionally, and then a crash. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna let
the prisoner has come up to the door as far as she can. You hear the chain like snap, and you can hear her, and she's like, "What's going on out there?"
New plan. And I open the door.
Yeah, you want to try to you take his keys and open the door?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you open the door, and she's like got this chain, she's pulling on it, and she's like, "Get me out of here, please."
Yeah, and I do the like, all right, just chill, hand, and like unlock her.
Okay, it's gonna take some time. You saw what key he used to open the door, but you've never seen the shackle unlocked, so it's gonna take some time. He's got like a shit ton of
Yeah,
keys
he's
in
got a
there.
lot of keys.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm a thief. This is my jam, so yeah, I'll figure it out.
All right, make a perception check. Let's see if you can do it quickly. Let's say DC. There's a lot of keys.
Okay.
They're all looking the same. Let's say DC
This
15.
time, Mask is helping me.
Yes. Yeah. You offer a quick prayer to Mask.
For certain.
Ooh, you're not gonna be able to
Oh,
make
no,
it though.
I get a 10.
Okay. All right. So you hear the like roaring from below, and then you can hear fighting going on in this room over here. Maybe, and I don't know, maybe whoever's the farthest, like the closest towards the guard room, you see this door right here burst open, and you see a jailer get thrown into the hallway with a big piece of wood like stabbed through his chest, and he slides onto the floor and lies there dead.
I think
Yeah,
we're
as the
actually
commotion-
dead.
Yeah, as the commotion was happening, I moved into this area and I'm like waiting for something to come through the door so I can sort it.
Okay. So
What if
this
it's just the rebellion?
that door is ruined. That door is gone. This room you can see if you look into it. So where are you standing, Lane?
Yeah, I'd like wanted to move there before the door got splintered in. I was just letting everybody finish their descriptions of their
Okay.
lockpicking and actions.
Sure. All right. So you're standing there when the guy gets thrown through the door and the door splinters.
Yeah, so I'm like waiting because I hear this fighting going on. I'm like, right, I should be at the front, and I'll just make sure. And like whoever's fighting, it doesn't matter. We need to kill our way out now. Basically. So-
Side note, remember how I paid that guy 30 gold?
Mhm.
Yeah, I got my 30 gold back.
Oh, he doesn't have it on him.
Damn it!
Yeah, he put it in safekeeping downstairs. Yeah.
When he went to talk to his brother.
Yeah.
So he'll have to kill his brother.
So you can see in the room through the dim gray light coming through these windows on that side. Yeah, you can see. You hear the click of a hoof, and then the scrape of a peg leg on the floor as the Minotaur captain steps out into the room. He's holding the crumpled body of another jailer by the neck in his hand. His neck's obviously broken, and he steps out into the room and like looks around, snorting. He's already got like several arrows sticking out of his chest, like crossbow bolts, and rusted, broken chains dangling from his waist, arms, and shoulders. He comes into the room and just like he's looking for a target. He hasn't seen you yet.
yeah, like I'm gonna hide there. Wait till he comes around the corner, and then I'm gonna hit with the sword.
Okay.
Alternately, we could just hop down the floor that's damaged and like go to the level below.
It's true.
Well, Lane's kind of trapped out now, right? Like, because you're
No, because Lane is here,
you're
right.
here.
and y'all are down here.
But yeah, what I mean
Yeah.
to say is that if he comes to us, he's gonna get spotted
Yeah, but we just have to get to here.
It's true.
and then drop down and then have a Minotaur drop down. I don't know. I mean,
Well, the Minotaur isn't looking for you. He doesn't know who the fuck you are, right? It's not like he's like, I'm gonna go fight those PCs. Like he's
Yeah.
free and he's running around causing chaos. So what he does, he comes into the room and he's like looking around. And he throws the body on the floor, and he walks over to one of the wooden beams that's like supporting the ceiling, and he grabs it and he strains his muscles and he yanks it out of the floor and out of the ceiling, like it breaks and splinters fly everywhere. And now he's got this big like wooden beam and he slaps it against his palms a couple of times, takes a step back as the ceiling collapses in on the floor. Rainwater floods into the room, and he walks over to this door here, and with a single hand just rips it out of the frame and steps out into the hall. And you can kind of see from where you're standing what he's doing. You see him tear the door off of that cell and walk into it, and it looks like he's like freeing prisoners.
well, that's what we're doing.
I shake my head. I'm like, I'm going to need you all to back me up on this one.
Or we just leave.
And so, have I figured
Yeah,
out?
I don't
Yeah, I
wait
think
for an
Graveris,
answer.
You finished. You figured out the key. Yep.
All right, so
I don't wait for an answer. I go over. I need to fight this guy.
You're gonna go fight a Minotaur.
Yep, I'm gonna go and sneak up on him and hit him with the sword.
Okay.
Yep.
I hand our orc friend the Bevik's knife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, you're staying with us. Yes.
She takes the knife and she nods.
Good.
She's like, better in here with you than out there with him.
We will keep you safe.
I think she
We're
can do that
done.
herself.
Free.
And like look at her, and I'm
What did you
just.
say? Sorry.
I said I think that she can do that herself. Keep herself safe. I mean,
Anyways, yes, very capable, delightful. And I have my sword out, and I'm stepping into the hallway to help Lane.
So Lane, you're gonna go up. You want to try and sneak up on this Minotaur?
Yep.
Okay. Make a stealth check. You have
Should have waited
disadvantage.
for me to touch you, and then you could have advantage.
Oh, I can't have him going and freeing all the prisoners though. I've got to
Why
go
not?
quickly.
I'm-
Well, because they're still prisoners and they got made prisoners for a reason.
Yeah, they've been shackled in here by the corrupt government, trying to keep the proletariat in line. You have to free them,
Yeah.
tear down everything, including the nobility that you are part of.
So you're stalking towards him, sword drawn, and he turns his head and snorts angrily, and he sees you, and you're part way across the room when he does. This isn't actually to scale. You're, let's see, 5, 10. I'd say you're like 15 feet away from him. And he turns and looks at you. And then the two of you need to make initiative checks. See whether he charges you or you charge him.
And I mean, we're all going to make initiative checks, right?
If you want to, we'll
just
keep
need tokens.
We can't. Yeah, we can initiative.
you can just roll it manually, and I can add them.
I'm not sure that we can.
Yeah, it went.
Okay.
I get a 4.
All right.
I got a 20.
Okay. All right. So let's Varus and Anastasia and Lane and Leander. Captain Walharrow. All right. So, Walharrow got a 3. Oleander, what did you?
17.
17. Okay. Lane got 20. And Anastasia got a 6.
I think this is the first time that Lane's inherent goodness has had us murdering people versus our usual badness having us murdering people.
Okay, Lane, you're first. You can close the gap. He won't get to charge on you.
Yep. So yeah, he turns around and sees me, and I say, subtlety's out of the window, and I draw the sword, and as I do, it crackles with electricity.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm going to hit him with a sword.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend inspiration.
Okay, go for it.
Give him the old 1-2 swordorino.
Yep, you hit him.
Everything I did. Yep, and I'm also going to divine smite him.
Sure.
Just the big hit.
Okay.
7, rerolling those 2s. Okay, so that's 7 plus 3, 10, plus 2 more d6 because of Thunderous Smite. Gonna reroll those. Sorry, I'll get there eventually.
Mm-hmm. That's better.
Whoa,
That's better.
Okay.
22 plus that is 31 points of damage.
Okay.
Woof.
All right. So you stride across the room and stab him in the chest or slash him in the chest with your crackling blade. He staggers back, a deep burned wound in his tattoo.
And
He's
there's
very strong,
thunder.
but he has to make a strength check as well, or get smashed across the room 10 feet and knocked prone.
And this thunderclap is audible within 300 feet of.
Okay, so the whole tower shakes like it was struck with lightning, and there's this boom, and one of the walls crumbles out. And none of you see this. You just hear Lane's armor go clunk clunk clunk, and then boom, and then the prisoner, she looks at you like, what is fucking going on in here?
That's same though.
Yeah, and so he needs to make what kind of what's the DC?
A strength saving throw, DC 13.
Ooh,
Okay, he's down.
So that's fine. Yeah. He gets pushed 10 feet back and knocked prone. Okay. All right. Oleander, what would you like to do?
Ask Lane what the fuck he's doing.
You can't see Lane right now.
Okay.
I'm over here.
So so I go to see what Lane's fucking doing.
Okay. So you want to move?
I'm being the shadow of a monitor. That's what I'm doing.
Let me check the.
Yeah. What's the distance?
He's 1v1ing this guy. I think the squares are 10 feet apiece.
You've seen me cast this spell before, by the way.
I mean,
yeah. Don't actually try to measure them. The map's not to scale.
All right. So 10, 5, 10,
thing is,
15,
Dave,
20, 25, 30.
We're
I mean, I can only get into the guards room.
Yeah, the squares are 10 feet apiece. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't even get close. So I'm just whatever that is, we need to get the hell out of here. And I guess start doing that.
You hear angry mooing, and then thunder, and yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't hear you. Sorry, Andrew.
Yeah, it's not so much that we're like, what is Lane doing in the sense of like,
Why are you doing
why
that?
is there thunder? It's just like, who did he just use the thunder thing?
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like who is here that is trying to kill us, and like where is it, and like we can't see anything. So I guess I'm gonna
Yeah.
get as far as I can into that guard's room, but that's just to the door basically, not even. So I can do my double my movement and still only probably get let's see 10 20 30 yeah, to like here. So
Yeah, they're fighting in the doorway, which would give them Minotaur cover, but who cares, right?
yeah, except for like I don't have any reason to.
Yeah.
I don't.
If you, it sounded like Oleander's plan was to GTFO and go through the hole in the floor.
Well, yeah, I was gonna, but then Lane decided to like fuck with somebody.
We got back our buddy up. It's the only way.
Well, I like get in there and I'm like, what the hell is this? And there's a guy on the floor, and being prone would be a disadvantage for me too, right?
Yes, he is prone right now.
So I'm assuming that there's gonna be a sword swinging at his head, and I can't get there. So I'm just gonna be like, Lane, like, do we have time for this?
Yeah, I just like turn my head to you for a second before I like re-heft the sword and like step closer to this like body.
This man who was imprisoned. Got it. Cool. We're gonna kill the prisoners. It's a great
Yeah.
idea.
He's a pirate. Don't get all fucking sad.
I'm not
Pirates are
sad.
All right, so what are you gonna do, Oleander? What's the
I'm
plan?
not doing anything. I'm going and I'm looking. I'm like, what are you doing?
All right,
and
so
I'm
you
just,
see
yeah,
you see him tangling with this cow man.
yeah.
Anastasia, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I'm like down here, right?
Yes. Yeah, each of
Okay.
these squares is 10 feet.
Oh boy. 10, 20, 30. I can get to the door on this side right here.
Yeah, you'd be able to see from there.
Like right here. And then I can hurl an Eldritch Blast. I think that's probably the best I can do.
Okay, he has Walhero has 3/4 cover.
Oh shit.
And is prone, so
Very disadvantaged.
he's been knocked into the back of the cell by the thunderous smite.
Oh. Okay, I don't even know if I can see him.
Yeah, you'd probably barely see him. He'd have a +5 AC and you'd have disadvantage.
Yeah, so it'd just
Like I
be
said,
normal
there's,
advantage. Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't. I'm not next to him anymore.
Yeah, you're not next to him because so I don't get pack tactics. You know what? I will instead move double my movement over to the table.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like here.
Okay.
next to me.
Scramble
Yeah.
into the room. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. All right, Graveris.
Yeah, I'm gonna come around. I'm gonna come around this way. I'm just gonna double move. I think 60 feet gets me
10,
from like
20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It puts you here. They're not 5 feet, they're 10.
yeah. So like 60 would get me if I'm in the cell.
Yeah,
At the cell,
right
right?
here. So 10,
This is 20.
20, 30. This is 30 here.
Okay,
40, 50, 60 is this square.
cool. Yeah, I'm just running around.
Okay, so you start to jog around the corner, and again, same thing. You've got this kind of like halfway across view of Lane standing in the doorway, still kind of crackling with electricity. It's probably very cool looking. His cloak fluttering from the breeze blowing in through the broken wall. Little arcs of lightning still like jumping off of his sword.
Wait, there was a prisoner in there. Is there still a prisoner?
Drops, yeah, drops of Minotaur blood like dripping off the sword and then like sizzling when they hit the ground. Yeah, you can see him, but you can't see who he's fighting.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I will shortly.
Yes, yeah. So Walhero is going to use half his movement to stand and the other half of his movement to charge at Lane. So he gets
I
up.
think that's an.
What's up?
No, since it's a Minotaur. Well, I don't know which version of the Minotaur thing it is. I can't debate which kind of action it uses because it's different from
Yeah.
thing to thing.
So at the start of its turn, it's going to use its Reckless ability, and then it's going to move 10 feet straight towards you and attack you with a gore. So it clutches this like great club made out of wall beam that's got, but it puts its head down, snorts, clicks its peg leg on the floor a few times, and then rushes forward towards you. And let's see if he hits you. He's got advantage in this attack. And 23.
Sure does.
Okay, so he hits you for that, and then an additional 2d8. And now it's your turn to make the saving throw.
That's a lot.
Can you make a DC 14?
That's a lot.
Okay, so you take 22, and then make a DC 14 strength save, please.
That really hurt a lot. Oh, it's not coming through.
Yeah. All right. So he charges you, and instead of you getting like the idea is that what he would do is he would hit you with the horns and then throw you off his horns, right? That's what throws you back 10 feet, knocks you down. But the horn hits you and punches a hole in your armor. But you're able to grab his horns and like hold his head down so he can't like throw you. And then he manages to pull back, yanks the horn free with a rending sound, and stares at you, eyes red, snorting angrily. And now he's just like right in front of you. It is your turn, Lane. Basically just trading blows with this Minotaur, knocking each other back and forth.
Yeah. Well, I can't do that again. So... Lay on hands is an action. That sucks. Do need to heal myself, though. Yeah, my friends can come and help me now. I'm going to lay on hands myself. For 20 hit points.
Okay. All right. So the power of Torm fills you with his holy light, and you feel much better. The goring wound heals over for the most part.
Yep.
Cool. I imagine the sound of the like horn punching in through your armor is like stabbing a can with a knife. That kind of like awful like metal grinding sound.
Well, yeah, 'cause he's got the one horn he still has a metal cap on it.
Yeah.
Just like rips into it, and there's like blood pouring out of it, and then the blood just stops. Okay, and you're still face to face with him. Oleander, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I see that our lovely paladin has picked a fight with a minotaur of all things.
You can see him. You can see him better now because he's not at the back of the cell. He's standing, so only Lane is kind of in the way.
Okay. Well, I can't very well let our friend be an idiot and kill himself. So
these are the two ways to look at this situation. Lane's being an idiot and killing himself, or Lane is being a noble protector and brave, taking on this Minotaur alone. The truth is often somewhere between two polar opposites.
Cool. Let's interfere with the prison break. That's totally my jam. Not. So I will, for Lane, shoot the Minotaur in the eyeball specifically.
Okay, you have advantage on this attack.
And it totally hits.
Yep.
For 10 damage.
All right.
And yeah, I'm like rolling my eyes the whole time. Like, God damn it! Like we aren't a part of this prison break, Lane. Like.
So you add your arrow to the already intensive
eyeball
list of arrows.
Eyeball. I got 25. It's totally in his eye.
I don't know if you know how Dungeons and Dragons
I
work.
just want it to be in his eye.
It's not in his eye.
Damn it.
You do not eyeball him. Okay. So he takes the shot. He's obviously not making any effort to protect himself. You bury the arrow in his chest, and he groans in pain. Anastasia.
I roll my eyes and go, fine. And then I throw a witch bolt.
Okay. Do you have to make an attack roll with the witch bolt?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm just gonna throw a witch bolt.
Okay. He's got 3/4 cover, but you have advantage.
He has 3/4 cover still?
Yeah, he's in another room. You're shooting around a corner, right? Like
I don't, but I don't have to because I can move.
You want to move up? Okay, then he's only got half. He's only got half cover if you.
I can move to like.
Yep. You don't have to worry about individual like explicit squares, but if you use your movement to set it up, he'll only have partial cover. He'll only have the +2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That then,
Okay.
and I have advantage because pack tactics.
You do, yeah. Well, so you have double advantage. Good work.
Oh, sweet, double advantage.
It doesn't even exist.
Where's all this advantage coming from, Adam?
Reckless. So if I choose to make him reckless, he gets advantage, but anyone attacking him gets advantage as well.
Okay, that's cool.
Delicious double advantage. Why is Hang
Super
on.
advantage.
I don't know why it's called Witch Bolt either, because it's not really a. I guess it's like a bolt of lightning that just doesn't stop. Ooh, unfortunately,
Right.
even with the 11, you don't hit him. Those were two very bad rolls with a +5. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I think you start because it's what does it look? Does it look different now than it used to?
It's like actually lightning now rather than being that like weird like green colored like green black like crackling energy. It's like this actual like blue lightning, you know, like arcs out.
I love.
But
I love.
I like hit the flag like the stone wall next to him and it just like
Yeah, I was thinking we'd
across
get a cutout to the like gray sky outside in the tower, and there's just like fucking light coming from the top of the tower, and like thunder and lightning, but the lightning isn't coming from outside; it's coming from inside and like shooting out of the tower. And I think that when you miss, the beam or the lightning bolt, it arcs towards Lane and then hits the wall, like it's drawn towards his sword because he's holding it over his head, and then it gets pulled and hits the wall and shoots debris everywhere. It's still very impressive looking. It just doesn't hit the Minotaur.
Yeah.
Okay, Graveris.
Shame.
The prisoner looks to you, Graveris, and because she's been following you, she grabs your sleeve and she's like, "This is as good a time as any to get out of here." And she looks at the hole and she's like, "Well, Walharrow's making noise. Come on, it's not going to get any easier than this."
No, I have to get him out of this mess. And I walk over or like hustle over with my sword drawn. And what manner of magic shall I use? This nerd.
Your biggest magic, because you've got advantage for this round.
Yeah. Now you can't get into
I can't get into melee though.
can't get into melee with him, no, because he's taking up the whole door frame. Him and Lane are meeting in that space.
Mm-hmm. So I think because Dave, you're pretty hurt right now, yeah?
Nope, I'm on 34 out of 36. I
Yeah, 'cause
healed
he
myself
healed
up.
himself, yeah.
Okay, but he could like two-shot you potentially.
Yeah, he'd have to be much more lucky this time though. He can't charge or anything.
Okay, well,
We should be fine.
I will
Feeling
just hit
good.
him with a sacred flame then.
Okay.
So Adam,
Make a saving throw.
roll a DC 13 wisdom save, or you will take 8 damage.
All right.
It is not a bad roll on that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Dexterity save. He's not great at dexterity. Great enough, though. Great
Yes,
enough.
today.
Yeah. So you conjure up your flame, sacred flame, and try to steal his life force, and he's having none of that. So I think the prisoner looks at you and shakes her head and like rolls her eyes. She's like, "Adventurers," and she kind of stands behind you. She's like, "If we're gonna stay, I'm not fighting, and I'm gonna stay behind you, so the Minotaur attacks you and not me." The captain, however, is very busy trying to kill his paladin. So he's run at you. You've stopped him from throwing you back with the horns. He sees you heal up, and he snarls, and he's like, "Filthy, cheating paladin!" And he swings his great club at you. And he's going to be reckless again. He's got a low enough armor class that I don't care if you have advantage. Here come the great club. 21.
Yeah.
Hits you for 19. Should be bludgeoning, but it doesn't make that much difference. So yeah, he swings the thing. I think he breaks off a big chunk of the door frame with the swing, and then bashes you in the chest. Bashes you in the chest with it. And then just stays ready to fight. Your turn, Lane.
I'm gonna hit him back.
Okay.
14.
Yes, a 14 hits.
Okay, that's fine.
Barely. Good work.
Gonna smite him as well. So 3 and 2. So that's 6 plus 6, 12 plus smite. Yeah, 24 more damage.
Nice. Good smite.
Is he still alive?
He is still alive, yes.
Okay, then I'm just gonna heal myself up a little bit.
Okay. Is Divine Smite not a bonus action?
It's not. It is not.
I think I've asked you this
counted
before.
action. Yeah, my bonus action is doing turn the tide, so I'll give myself.
Right. Yeah. Not that I think it's unreasonable, but as a mechanical thing, it's weird that there are like
a bonus action that isn't a bonus
yeah,
action.
a bonus action
it's
that's
just a
every
bonus
other instance.
action.
Yeah, every other instance of this would be a bonus action, except this one exception. Yeah.
Yeah, champion challenge as well is
Same thing.
no action at all. Yeah,
So
you just do it.
So weird.
Paladin's weird.
I guess your Anastasia, your charm thing is like that, right? Or is it an action?
It's an action.
What the hell? What the hell, wizards? Come on.
Yeah, and so is throwing
Paladin
myself to the
OP.
floor and crying.
Yeah.
Like it's an action.
All right, cool. Yeah, so he is still up, and then you're gonna turn the tide?
Yeah, I just heal myself up.
Okay. All right. You shout a battle cry to Torm, or what does that look like? What is it? It's anyone who can hear you, so you make a noise. What is it?
Yeah, it's like I think it's just shouting back. He's like, "Filthy cheating paladin," and I shout back. I don't have any good one-liners ready for this.
Get wrecked, cow.
Yeah, shut up.
I'm hungry for some steak.
Sure, right.
I'm
Filthy
gonna
cheating
My way.
filthy cheating
Move out of my
hamburger.
way. Yeah. No, Lane's better at this than I am.
Okay.
Imagine a cool thing I said.
Yes, you're invoking your once per session John Harper.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Imagine that Lane says the coolest, most badass thing and then heals. All right.
Okay.
Oleander, it is your turn.
All right.
No.
This motherfucker's gonna get wrecked. I'm going
Oh my
to.
god, Torm to die. Thanks, Halfling. Wake up, Torm to die.
All right. I'm gonna use my precision attack and sharpshooter. So that would be a -5 penalty to the attack roll
Nice.
plus
Look at you, smarty pants.
1d8. So I'm gonna make an attack roll
Yep, make the attack roll.
Fuck me.
So it's 11 reduced to 6.
plus 1d8. Let's hope
Yeah.
this is good.
You
You
need
could
to
still hit him.
mechanically need
No.
an 8.
Nope. And
No.
I'm not gonna hit him at all.
Okay, so you like
Um,
line up the shot that you can't, and you fire, and it just barely misses.
That makes me angry. That upsets me. Okay. I just huff. I huff.
Right, stamp your foot.
Yes, I'm. That was an ugly arrow. Obviously, is what that was.
Totally. You turn into a frustrated chibi version of Oleander.
Yes.
Anastasia.
So I quickly, I shoot this lightning bolt last turn, and I take a look at my like fingertips, like, whoa, okay, and I go like, okay, just going to recalibrate that, and
Yeah, exactly. Adjust for wind.
yeah, and then witch bolt.
There you go. That'll do it.
11 damage, lightning, real lightning.
Okay, 11 total. All right.
And I'm holding this like channel of lightning
Yeah.
into this minotaur now.
Yeah, so he's almost dead. You can see like his skin is peeling and burning away. This lightning is hitting him, and he's flashing. You can see a skeleton underneath. Graveris, what do you want to do?
Can I move up and give him the sorting of a lifetime now?
No, because Lane hasn't moved. They haven't moved from where they're standing. Lane is still in your way. Yep.
The
It's 10 foot
sorting
hallway,
of
so
a
I can
lifetime.
go
What's that?
straight. I can go around, and the Minotaur is a large creature.
What's that? He's standing in the room, and Lane is blocking the door.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Lane, you're not helpful.
If
What's
I'd been paying enough
great
attention,
here is that you have line of Anastasia. You have line of sight, so you're probably actually arcing the lightning off of Lane. right?
Yeah.
Like Lane is like flickering with lightning, and it's leaping from him and hurting the Minotaur.
Yeah, there's like crackles of it across your shoulders and like
So
your
cool.
plate armor and stuff.
Lane's armor is being a Faraday cage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mercifully.
Sweet.
Well, given what is happening here, I cast Sacred Flame. Kablow.
Okay. All right. Let's make a.
And yeah, I imagine these as like these like spectral hands appearing out of the like darkness or shadows and like grabbing at things and taking away their life force.
All right. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. So weakened as he is by the lightning and the multiple slashing attacks by your paladin, you find an opening and you just snuff out the candle that is his life. And yeah, it's not, he doesn't like burn up or like anything. Like the lightning and everything is a distraction. He just suddenly, like, you see him, he blinks a couple of times and like tries to breathe,
like,
and then just
pupil
falls over.
contracts and falls
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, his little peg leg kicks on the floor a couple of times, and the whole tower smells of well-cooked steak. Yeah, so there's a prisoner on the other side who is just like he's just looking up at you like, Lane, like, what the fuck? And he puts his hands up and he's like, I don't want to escape. I'm not going anywhere.
What are you in for?
Lane, leave him.
There's no time for this. Let's go.
He's like, I'm innocent. It was a setup. I promise. I didn't know that crime lord any money. He just, you see, he came to it was my brother. My brother, that's the one who owed him the money. It's not me. You gotta let me go. And he's like pulling on the chain, like, please.
Just leave him there then. I just leave him there.
Okay.
Yes, let's make our way out of here.
Yeah,
Quickly.
Gravaris says we don't have time for it. I'm just like,
Would you like to murder any more escapees before we leave?
it depends if they're trying to free the rest.
Well, why don't you go check? I'm sure they are. You can get us into some more trouble we have to get you out of. Would you like that, Lane?
So you're having this conversation as you walk
As
around
we're
the hall.
like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're going to pass through all the floors.
So clearly.
And Gravaris is not leading everyone to the stairwell. Gravaris is leading everyone to the hole in the floor.
Sure.
We're gonna tag between holes in the floor if we're able to get down and avoid the stairs, because this is where everyone's gonna be, is in the stairwell, where all the like fighting and stuff is gonna happen. Is my thought.
Okay.
Yeah, how like far down are the floors? Because if it's less than 10 feet, we can jump it. But if it's more, then
It's a 10
risk
it's a 10
ourselves.
foot. It's like a bit over a 10-foot drop. Right?
So we'd be looking at damage. Is
Yeah,
what you're saying?
1d6. I think falling is you make an acrobatics or athletics check.
Yeah, make an acrobatics check.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna fail
So-
all of those.
So
Probably.
Lane takes the stairs.
The environment, falling. Here's how it works. You don't make a save, you just fall. You take 1d6 points of damage for every 10 feet you fell. So if you jump, you'll take a d6 damage and then land prone. Unless you
seems
don't,
really bad.
unless you somehow don't
Just-
take
Okay, so it's too far to do like recently.
Yeah.
Rather than-
Yeah, just everyone would take 46 damage, which
Is
by the
not-
time you
No
reach the
idea.
floor, you take 3, right? 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1.
Yeah.
of
But
course.
regardless, we're not going to do that. So we'll go down the stairs then.
Okay. All right. So you're into the stairs. There is smoke coming up from the bottom floor up the stairwell, but you can certainly go down through it.
Let's do it.
And we continue.
We're all gonna die.
All right. So you get down onto the second floor. The second floor is chaos, right? You can hear shouting, the sounds of swords and armor, like these some weapons clattering. You can see from here, like if you look down the hallway, you can see where Walharrow broke free, and there's just debris and bodies like strewn about from here. But you can continue down the stairs. The second floor, it looks like the riot has sort of like spread, or the prison break has spread. It wasn't just Walharrow getting free that caused all this trouble. Someone has like let a bunch of prisoners out, or something has happened. More fighting on this floor, but again, you can continue down the stairs. No one is blocking it here. It's when you get to the bottom, when you get to level 1, that's the problem. So you step out into the room, and you see that the mess hall has been turned into a battlefield. Basically, there are a bunch of prisoners on the far side, crouched behind the table, and they're firing stolen crossbows across the room up towards this little area where several guards have crossbows as well and are firing back and forth. So you like come out of the door, and then a quarrel just whips past you, bounces off the stone, and you can see the two sides like firing at each other and ducking. There's basically like a gunfight here, and to get out the front door, you have to run across like the field of arrows.
Okay.
And
Well,
it's prisoners on our left and guards on our right, essentially.
Yeah.
never let it be said I wasn't brave.
You just want to run for it?
Scurry.
Okay. All right.
Can
Make
we
a.
take
Couldn't
the
you
dodge
like
action?
grovel? Could you grovel and then like
So they don't.
No, please don't shoot me.
I mean, running across, keeping your head down, that kind of thing. You'll get to make a dexterity save, and if you fail,
Yeah,
you'll take
that's-
an
that's-
amount of damage.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm just gonna blitz across.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Yeah. Make your dexterity save. Oh yeah, you're fine. You don't take any damage from the.
I got a +4 to dexterity.
You're very quick.
You're just
Alright.
a tiny thing. So,
if a tiny little kobold is gonna go running through
I just got a mental image of like get to the other side, like look over my shoulder, there's like a quarrel in the book on my back, you know, like directly where my neck is.
Paper's real good at stopping arrows.
All right, let's try this. Not as great.
Okay.
I'm not as little as she is.
Okay. Anybody else want to make the run across? I'll do all the damage at once.
I mean, there's not much other choices there unless we go and confront them and murder their faces.
So this is the only way that we
So
get
we're
through.
just
we can't
right
just
here, right? We ran.
Yeah, the two of you will run across and end up on this side. The rest
Okay.
of the party is on this side here.
Yeah, I mean, can I take the dodge action and move?
No, we're not. It's not combat. There's no dodge action. It's an environmental hazard. If you want to cross the field of fire, this is what happens, unless you do something else.
Yeah, what if we just want to go and like murder all the guards?
Yeah, you could run at the
I
guards.
mean, Lane wants to murder all the prisoners. You
Right,
want to
you
murder
could
all the
split.
guards.
Yeah, Lane takes the prisoners, you take the guards, and eventually just the tower collapses in on itself, and you're good to go.
I think that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna get shot on I don't actually really have that much more. There's not like, oh, I'll take my shield out.
Mhm.
I'll do that and then I'll run. Well, it doesn't matter. You're not making attack rolls. on
No,
that,
it's not
whatever.
attack rolls. It's just a save to avoid being shot. Oh,
Whatever.
dear.
I knew
Yep,
that was going to go
that's
really
a
badly.
thing.
It's
Okay.
just,
And then Graveris, do you want to do the same, or do you have some other plan?
I mean,
Well,
they've already
everyone's
run
just
away,
gonna-
so we can't do fighting.
if
I
anyone's
mean,
just
we can
gonna
still
run-
shoot.
I mean, the
things
other
from
the other
here.
option is that you just try to sneak around behind one of the groups.
But
they're-
sneak from this one.
Yeah,
point?
they're very busy shooting at each other. You could make a stealth roll to try to like go around
avoid
behind them.
notice.
Yeah, just to avoid getting shot at.
That would-
I misunderstood how that looked. Oops.
That's definitely what Graveris will do. Then.
Yeah, they're doing this, right? They're shooting each other across from like this corner to that corner.
I was thinking like it's just the door, and then you're visible, and you're gonna get shot
Oh yeah.
at.
Well, no, they're not actually. No one's actually shooting at you. They're shooting at each other. And maybe someone would be like, "Hey, there's somebody. Shoot at them." But yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
You want to make a stealth roll?
Yeah, with guidance, obviously.
And you have advantage from your cloak, right?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
I get a
It's a 26.
Yeah, you are fine. You are well fine.
So while everyone's running across, I just like my cloak has gone to this like same gray as the stone, and I'm just like slowly, like not all that slowly, but very surreptitiously moving it.
Mhm. Okay. Your friend is gonna run across too, so she'll try to get by. Okay. All right. So only Anastasia escapes getting arrowed, but thankfully the damage isn't too bad. So Blue Jay, Oleander takes 8.
Okay.
Lane takes 7, and then the prisoner takes 5. Okay, so you just get winged. You get like hit with arrows or whatever. Nothing serious, no like deep hits, but grazing shots. And you run across and burst out into the courtyard. Graveris skulking behind you, and in the courtyard, and this is actually a really good place to take our last break. In the courtyard, you see that Graveris, that jailer, the dwarf. You see him, and you can get a better look at him now. So he's got his helmet pulled off and thrown on the ground. He looks like he's been in a fight. He's got blood dripping from his nose. His jaw is like deformed on one side, and his beard only grows out of like the other side. And you can see like his lip is like split and healed. So you can see his teeth, even though he's got his mouth closed. He's got a halfling that looks familiar, but isn't obviously the same halfling. Another like kind of chubby, tough-looking, kind of pallid halfling. He's got him in a headlock, and this guy looks like he's been in a fight too. He's got a bad bruise on his face, and his arm is hanging kind of limp. He's got him in a headlock, and he's got a knife to his throat, and he's holding him, waiting obviously for you to come out the door. And he growls. He growls at you as he sees you. He's like, "Ah, that's far enough. One more move, and I slit the halfling's throat." And I think when we see him, that's when we go
LOL, reverse hostage situation.
That's when we go to break, and I can't wait to come back and have you be like, "I don't care."
I walk towards him.
Yeah. So we'll see how you handle that I have my suspicions, but we'll see when we get back. Stick around, and we got more Roll20 Presents D&D Adventurers League when we return.